Come to think of it, when I try to recall my father in my vague childhood memory, I always end up picturing him reading an English newspaper, sipping coffee, or watching English news program on AFKN, which obviously is a far cry from what you would recall about your father. And that, I believe, is quite a privilege when it comes to learning English. I mean, from my early childhood, English was something that was always around my father, and therefore, it wasn't anything special to me. I might have already developed an idea that someday, like my father, I will be reading an English newspaper or watching English news program. My memories related to English language as a communication tool dates back when I was around maybe 10 years old or younger. My father, until he retired, had worked for the US Army as a civilian worker, so good English communication skills came with territory. One day, I think it was just a holiday, my father invited his co-workers over. 6 or 7 of them visited our place, and as you can imagine, some of them were Americans. If my memory serves me correctly, they were 2 African Americans and a Caucasian. Watching my father talking in English with such an admiration, I thought he looked incredibly cool. When they were talking a language I couldn't understand at all, they seemed to be another world that I didn't belong to. On top of that, when I found out later that my father and his American co-workers were the topic of my neighborhood scuttlebutt, I got proud and felt like I was an important person. I believe back then, few people in the town, including me, had ever seen a Korean talking with foreigners in English, let alone huge foreigners walking down the street in your neighborhood. My neighborhood buddies would compliment me and say, "Wow, Americans, what does your father do? He speaks English? What American food have you tried? Was it good?" My response, I threw my chest out, and I had this dumb look on my face that you get when you think someone's about to compliment you. At that time, I figured people thought if you had American friends or co-workers or foreign associates, especially Westerners, you're an important person. Another day, I had a chance to visit my father's workplace in a US military camp. I don't remember what the occasion was, but they were having a party and the Korean employees were allowed to bring their family. At the party were exotic foods that I'd never seen, let alone I'd ever tried. Hamburgers, hot dogs, grilled ribs, pasta, salad, and chips. However, what caught me off guard was the comic books and an English-speaking Korean boy. I already knew about superheroes like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Hulk from TV programs. However, in the comic books I'd found in the office, there were other great heroes I had never seen or heard of. Iron Man, Captain America, Flash, and Thor, to name some. Of course, I didn't have any idea as to who they were until maybe 20 or 30 years later. With a big pile of colorful superhero comic books in front of me, I wish I'd been able to understand what they're saying and what they're fighting about. What a shame. If I had spoken English, I would have been able to join these exotic superheroes' battles. And lo and behold, there was another shock of the day. I was flipping through the comic books when this kid came up to me and asked how I was doing. I gave him a glass nonchalantly and went back to the books. My ass must have been saying, "Hey, leave me alone. I'm too busy with these books to be bothered by you. Get lost, kid." He appeared to be of my age, had curly hair, kinda girlish looks. I didn't give him another glance until I had to lift my head up to see what was going on. Oh my gosh, the kid was talking in English with an African American guy who looked even bigger than Hulk. At this moment, the boy was a member of the world that I had thought I didn't belong to. He was a member of the world of exotic food, superheroes, and most of all, a language I couldn't understand. From this childhood experience, I've always hoped to be able to speak English. If I spoke English, I would look cool and casual with the neighborhood buddies. If I spoke English, I would be in the world of exotic food and superheroes. If I spoke English, I would be able to open the door to the unknown world of wonder. If I spoke English,